Welcome back to the Film Theory TV show. I'm your host, Zach Plemming, and today we have a wonderful lineup of guests. I'm excited to take you through today for these games, discussions, and even more. First, let me introduce you to our first guest from the mountains of Greece, the Greek god himself, the man, the myth, the legend. There is no one else like him. His name is Daniel Burns. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you so much for that wonderful intro.
My pleasure.
Speak so highly of me, and it is a humbling experience to have someone like yourself give such praise.
Oof, stop it. I'll give you the $20 later. Everybody, how about a round of applause for Mr. Daniel Burns. Oh, a bit of trouble on set here, guys. Don't worry, we're going to quickly shift over to his video.
I am Daniel Burns. I am 19 years old from Brisbane, Australia. I started filming in high school, and I loved it from the first moment. My favourite genre is horror, followed very closely by fantasy. My favourite films are probably the Lord of the Rings trilogy and first Alien movie is really good. My dream job would be a writer for films. I love every part of it, from world building to characters and dialogue. My favourite thing. I lost my tie in an engineering workshop because I got caught in a lathe. Having your head being pulled very close to a bunch of spinning metal is quite terrifying. It's put life in perspective, you know. Every day above ground's a good one.
Are you a good liar?
I like to think I am. Although it'd be more accurate to say I'm a compulsive liar than a good one. I am competitive to a fault. I'll do anything it takes to win.
Beautiful, Daniel. Thank you absolutely again for coming in today. We really do appreciate it. Now, our second guest is quite the delight. We have, if you already know, she's got hair that grows. Her name is none other than Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming in today. Please give it up for the one, the only, Alex Cooney. All right, fantastic. Now's the part where we get a glimpse into what Alex is really like. So let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Alex. I am 20 years old and from Brisbane. I am currently studying film at JMC and I'm just finishing up my first year and my third try. My favorite genre would probably have to be action comedy, which is also, funnily enough, like the area that I'm speccing into with my writing. I don't really like film so much as I like long-form TV shows. Currently, some of my favorite TV shows, Our Flag Means Death, Good Omens, Castlevania. Castlevania is like the greatest show of all time. End of 2020, I was banned from the Hentai Haven Discord server for bullying. I bullied a guy who was going on a date with this Discord e-kitten in the public channels of the Hentai Haven Discord server. I ended up sending him, I think it was like Sans X Papyrus, like Yaoi art, like just in his DMs, and that got me banned.
Fantastic. Well, look, I'm excited to have you both on today. As we can see, the hair, that grows, that shows. Talking of shows, I noticed that your favorite is Good Omens.
Oh yes, definitely. It's the dynamic between all the characters is just it's gold.
Absolutely. Well, look, we're going to move on to our favorite game here at the show, the FT Show's True or False game. Now, the premise is simple. We've got two envelopes in front of us right now. One envelope is true. One envelope is false, and we're each going to go around the circle, take turns, and we're going to select the other person's. So you and I will select Daniel's and I will select yours, and so on and so forth. And we're going to go around one time. Now, we'll have 1 minute afterwards to ask as many questions as we need to, and then afterwards we need to guess if it's a true or lie. So what I'm going to do now is ask, is there any questions? No? Excellent. Let's get straight into it. Who wants to go first? You're our first guest here today, so let's go with yourself, Daniel. One or two? What are we saying?
Let's go one.
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 Bum, bum, bum.
In The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger kept licking his lips so much they added citric acid to the makeup to discourage him from licking it off.
Ooh. Interesting. I've never heard this one. Why does it matter if he was licking his lips?
Well, he was constantly washing off all the makeup that the department had spent so much time applying, so becoming in between the scenes, you'd constantly have to reapply more and more makeup, and it was just taking so long.
So how come the citric acid didn't wipe the makeup off? Did it damage it at all?
No, you can get citric acid in a powder form, so you just mix it in, and so it wouldn't really affect it very much.
Why does it matter if the makeup comes off? That's sort of part of the Joker's like makeup anyway, isn't it?
It's less of the makeup coming off being the problem, and more the fact that it would just be this weird ring around his lips that would come off when he's supposed to have like those bright red lips, which is very iconic to the Joker's image.
Interesting. I wonder if he licks his lips more and more, they would get windburn. It's probably going to work out better, man.
Well, I think the idea of acidic powder is quite,
Fun. Is that,
Let's go with that one.
All right, so let's have a guess here. I'm thinking, we'll go to you, Alex. True or false?
I'm going to say false.
False.
That is correct.
Woohoo! Interesting. I wasn't under the impression, Adam. Why don't you tell us the story?
So Heath Ledger had to keep licking his lips to push the prosthetics, which were falling from his upper lip, which just turned into Joker's signature thing. So prosthetics kept falling, and that was just his way of fixing it. So
Excellent. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Well, look, Heath Ledger, what a legend. Rest
Indeed
in
he
peace.
is.
All right, we're going to move on to round two. And Alex, as you're our second guest, we're going to move into my round. So, guys, 1 or 2?
Let's go with 2.
Sounds good.
You're in for a treat with this one. Whilst making Jurassic World, during extensive research for scientific accuracy, crew actually almost reincarnated a breed of birded dinosaur, Archaeopteryx. Don't ask me to repeat that name because I struggled the first time.
So can you say that
True
one
or
more
false?
time?
Archaeopteryx.
Interesting, interesting.
So what exactly is an Archaeopteryx?
Well, it's got a head like a donkey, and the bottom half is almost like a pterodactyl.
Right, right,
Comes from the Archaeo family, known as the Pteryx.
Yeah.
right. and
Short for Pteryx.
yeah, and you're sure it's not pronounced Archaeopteryx?
All right, well, I don't think so. So, yeah.
And how would a film studio recreate an extinct species of dinosaur?
Well, they've got syringes, and they just go, and they chuck it in the cloning machine. Give it about 20 minutes, then it pops out, and then you got to breed it for a little bit. Then you got to go in and out, and then they got to jump up, do 10 star jumps, and then they put it back in the machine, and
So why didn't they consult a paleontologist or some kind of doctor
well,
instead?
let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you one thing, because the paleontologists couldn't actually pronounce the name.
I don't believe you.
All
Neither
right.
do I.
So, you are correct. It is false. It is false. Parks and Recreation actor Chris Pratt and Eric Edelson reunited to shoot Indominus Rex escape scene in Jurassic World. Alrighty then. Let's move on to Alex. We're going to jump over to Alex now. So, I might give this one to myself, and we will go Alex, envelope 1.
Good choice. In The Expendables 3, Jason Statham nearly died when the brakes of a truck he was driving failed, causing him to plunge 60 feet into the ocean.
60 feet, huh?
60 feet.
What happened? How on earth did he survive such a fall? Did the truck break the landing, or?
Well, first of all, he's a professional diver. So the truck, it had, like, the windows were all down already. So he managed to, you know, kind of get what was
Right.
going on pretty quick and get out.
That's actually true. He competed in the Commonwealth Games, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, he's a professional diver. That's funny.
Fascinating.
Yes, yes. Interesting. Did he do a backflip at all?
Not that I know of.
No. Okay. So was he
Did the
knocked
truck?
out? Or did the truck? Yes.
I think the truck just continued to sink, to be honest.
Makes sense.
but
Makes sense. That's what
yeah.
trucks do.
Effort on
Yeah.
the
It
truck's
was
fault.
okay. He did hit someone going in, but it wasn't, you know.
Or like a
It wasn't
punch
a
at
lot.
like mid punch,
Oh, the
or
truck
oh,
did.
the truck did.
Yeah.
Did
yes,
that
yes,
person survive?
He did. He was a bit bruised, but he did survive.
Just bruised after getting hit by a truck.
Yes. Well,
I'm
could be
not
Superman. It could be
convinced.
Clark Kent. Could be.
Could be.
Or
Secret
However,
identity
I'm going to go
revealed.
with false.
I'm gonna go with true.
Divided.
It is, in fact, true.
Woo!
Well done.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Why don't you tell us the story?
Well, yes. Because Stefan is a trained professional diver, he was able to exit out of the doors, which were not locked prior to the take.
Smart.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes, smart. Well, that's why the Expendables are there, because he's expendable, right? So.
Exactly.
Maybe not. What was that look?
Can you say that on air?
Alrighty. Daniel, Alex, thank you so much for playing this this game today. It is our favourite game, and for guessing along with us for you at home. I hope you enjoyed and thinking about the questions as well. Maybe we'll have you on here one day, who knows. Next, we're going to jump into our new segment. So this new segment's exciting. We call it the Theory of the Week, and in this segment, we're going to introduce and discuss and debunk a random theory. That random theory is a classic in a loved film, and here we go. Remy in Ratatouille goes through a secular version of baptism when he falls from the skylight into the kitchen. He lands in a sink full of dishwater. The cleansing water purifies him, washes away his old country rat self, and prepares him for his new role working in a professional kitchen. He goes into the water a rat, emerges a chef.
I don't think it has such a deep connotation. I believe this theory is looking far too much into it. I don't think you can wash the country rat out of the chef, but you can certainly put the chef into the rat. But to call it secular baptism, I think is a stretch too far. It's simply a chaotic situation in which circumstance led Remy to be able to pursue his dream of being a chef. So.
I think that maybe he did keep that country self inside of him, but maybe it was more a difference of mindset. He didn't believe he could do that beforehand, and then he just, coming out, he realized.
You think it was the baptism of confidence almost?
Exactly.
Interesting. I like this theory. There's a lot of moving parts to this theory. I do think there is an element of this purification, and I do feel like there is an element of him sort of shedding his old rat self and that old country self to become this chef. I mean, he's in dishwater, which is sort of the basis. You need to understand dishwasher. See, we're playing games here. You need to understand dishwater to understand being a chef. In saying that, in our understanding of it all, we're pretty much going to talk next about Daniel. I'm just joking, mate. Just playing around with you.
Can't put me on the spot like that.
Sometimes it's fun to do that with our contestants. I like seeing them squirm. But in saying that, that's all, folks, for today's show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being a part of it.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this week's lineup. Do you have any final words?
But you're an excellent host.
Oh, stop it.
I have to concur, and this was one of the most fun shows I've been on in quite a while, so.
Perfect. Well, look, next week we're going to have two very special guests lined up. It says here it's going to be George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, here to talk about their new movie, Jurassic Wars, Raiders of the Extraterrestrial. It's going to be something you don't want to miss, guys. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm your host, Zach Fleming, our two wonderful guests, and you at home, I hope you've had an enjoyable time. Thank you very much, because without you, without us, we really wouldn't be able to go. Here. From everything that we say. Look, we're looking over at the teleprompter over here, and it's telling me to keep going and not keep going. So we're getting conflicting stories, but that's okay. What are your thoughts of the Raiders of the Extraterrestrial?
I think it's quite a brave new step for both franchises. And George Lucas and Spielberg coming together, I think it'll be a brilliant piece of film.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, guys. This is our final goodbye.